making class. In today's class, we're going to be doing a bifold wallet for women. This is a fun, easy project, and I believe you're going to enjoy it. Before we get started, I'd like to say a big thank you if you've been with us for a while. If you've not yet subscribed to our channel, I'll advise that you subscribe now and hit on the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime a new video is uploaded. I have gone ahead to prepare my stencil. I'm going to be talking to you about the stencil in a minute. They are in 5 bits. Okay, straightforward stencil. Get your A4 sheet. You can get 2 papers. So the first one, what I did was to make a fold from the bottom coming up at 10 centimeters. Okay, so this fold here is 10 centimeters wide. Make that fold, and then you obviously bring the other one on top of it like that. That's quite simple. All right, then this bit here I have cut out is going to be the bit for our zip. Okay, it's going to be the bit for our zip when we finally stitch it in. So you're going to be folding your paper into 2 equal halves. Okay, just fold the paper into 2 equal halves, just so that we'll be able to locate the center of it. And my line here is 15.3 centimeters. So we're going to be finding the center of 15.3 centimeters, and that is going to be around 7.65, okay, centimeters. And then I'll draw my line, and then from that line you're going to also draw 1 centimeter line on the side across it, 15 centimeters, and coming down 1 centimeter. Okay, from this gap coming down is another centimeter you're going to leave. So from the edge here you're going to come down at 1 centimeter and start drawing your lines in. I hope I'm making sense over there. So that is where our zipper is going to sit. Then we come to our stencils. I have gone ahead to cut 4 pocket sizes. The thing is, my leather seemed to be quite heavy, so I'm going to start with the bigger ones. Okay, I'm going to start with number 2 and number 3 and stitch them first and see if my machine is going to allow me to stitch on the 4th one. Then I will do it. Even though I'm going to leave them at 2 pieces. Okay, so you're going to be cutting 3 pocket sizes at 8.8 centimeters wide and then 21 centimeters long. Okay, so just the length of the A4 sheet, you just take the same length but go up 8.8 centimeters wide and then cut it out. So the width of the second one is 7.4 centimeters, and then the width of the last one is 6.1 centimeters. So that is it for the pocket and for the main body of the bag, which is your number 1. Now we are going to need a little strap, which I've numbered number 5. I think that are 2 centimeters by 12 centimeters long. All right, and then you're going to run off one end like that. It's quite similar. This particular bit is quite similar to the project we did yesterday. So that is it for the stencil. Now let me bring back the materials we'll be using for today's project. So you would need your zipper teeth, zip, and the length of my zip I'm using is 18.5 centimeters, quite short. And then you also cut your bits on leather. So I've gone ahead to cut my bits on leather. This leather I'm using usually comes in the A4 size, so that makes it quite easier. So I have this as the main body of the bag, and then my pockets are going to be in this leather. I would have preferred everything being in the same pattern of leather, but I don't have that option, so I've gone for something else, but we'll be able to work around it. So my strap will be in this leather as well. Okay, so I've gone ahead to cut my pockets. Like I said, it's quite heavy. Putting it on this, I don't know if my machine will be able to pick it up. If I can't, I'll just leave 1 pocket out and just do 2 as we carry on with the rest. All right, you'd also need some hardware, so this will help us fasten our strap over there. And then we are going to also need our snap buttons, the male and the female set, to help us with the closure. So basically that is everything we need for this project. And of course your sewing machine and your matching thread. Okay, I'm going to go ahead to get my measurements in for our zip. All right, so that will be the first thing we'll be doing. So I've held my stencil down with some craft pegs. I'm going to go ahead and draw in the space for the zipper T. Okay, where we're going to be fixing it. Okay, another thing I've done is to go ahead and put in the markings for where the folds are going to be as well. I've just transferred them here. With that done, I'm going to put a stencil on the side and then go ahead and cut out the shape. So I went ahead to use the blade to cut out the shape. The next thing is to stitch our zipper to it. I've always found it quite easy to put some glue first so that it stays in place whilst we stitch it. So I'm going to go ahead and put some evocative glue just around this bit here before we go ahead to stitch. I've not done too much of the glue because I don't want it to struggle with my machine as I stitch. It's just to keep my zip in place whilst we work on it. Okay, so with the zipper beautifully set, I'm going to hold on a bit for it to dry and then take it to the machine. I'll do 1/8 of an inch all the way around and then we bring it back. Well, this is beautifully stitched in. The trick to stitching this kind of leather on the normal sewing machine is to rub some machine oil on your stitch line before you actually stitch. Okay, so on the area you'll be stitching before you actually stitch. This makes it very easy for the leather to glide under the machine. I think before we do this bit, let's try and fix our strap so that it's easier to work with from there on. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, and the next step now is to fix the strap. All right, so I've decided on where I want the strap to go. I've just folded the flap on top of it like that, and then I'm going to put the bag into 2 equal halves just to find the center, and this crack here happens to be my center. I'll go ahead and then put this strap as well into 2 halves. So I'm just going to be matching my center line, and that is somewhere here. Okay, as you can see, we can decide to do a squarish stitch all over here and then put this pin in the middle to hold it down, or just put some glue and then the pin, and that will be enough. I'm going to go ahead and do the glue and the pin, and then we take it from there. But before I go ahead, I'm just going to put a mark here to know exactly where I'm coming back to fix my strap. So this is the center line, and this is the center line for me as well. Okay, so I have glue on this bit and glue on this bit. I'm going to bring the 2 pieces together like that, and then just let it dry for a bit before we come and set our rivets on it. I've gone ahead to do my 2 punch holes, so I'm going to be putting it in here like that, and then put the back as well, and then I'm going to hit them down with my hammer to set it. All right, so with that beautifully set, let's go ahead and then set our snap button. So I'm going to be setting the female set here. I'm going to get my anvil to make the hole, push that side of my snap button in, and then bring the other set on top of it like that, and then with the clamp you're going to go in and then set it. That has been set beautifully. Now we're going to figure out where to set the other half of it. So I'm going to fold it to the back, and then we'll make a hole, make a mark to decide where that will be going, and it seems like it'll be going in here. Okay, so I'm going to take my pegs off That's the reason why it's best to set the buttons before you carry on. Go from in out. Sorry, this is going to go from in out. And then the male bit of the snap comes here, and then I'm going to clamp it down. All right, so that bit has also been set. Let's test it and see. Right, so that's beautifully set over there. Okay, so let's go on and finish the other parts of the bag. So like I said, this one here, we're going to be stitching the sides down all round. I just figured out that the best thing to do is to run the center stitch. So I'm going to put this into 2 equal halves and then decide where the center is going to go. Go ahead and put in that stitch, and then we come back and attach it to the body, and I'll explain why I had to do that. Okay, so I know that this is where my stitch is going to go. Now, because of this, we'll not be able to stitch it all around and come and stitch it in the center. So we're going to just stitch these 2, come back here and just stitch them on the 3 sides. So this gives us a large pocket and then 2 small pockets on this side. All right, with that stitch in place, I'm going to go ahead and attach this bit here and then run my stitch on these 3 sides. All right, so here we are. I really enjoyed this project. It's a very beautiful project. And then with a handmade tag, I really enjoyed this project. Okay, now let's test the bag and see. So we can have our phone here. Keep some money. And then have some cards over here. We've come to the end of today's project. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to give our videos a thumbs up. Don't forget to share and subscribe if you have not done that already. And please check my other channel, which is Podcast with Sheila, that shares inspiring real life experiences every week. Until we meet again in our next video, have a great day.